So let's just look around then with this whole like trade deadline situation, and not just with Baltimore, just say with anyone. Is there pieces to you that would be really intriguing? Say if a team was trying to reload, if it was Baltimore, somebody else, that you're like, I'm really high on this guy and he could make an impact for a ball club in the next couple of years.
Well, I think if the question is, I know you said not just Baltimore, but we can certainly we can start there at least, right? If I am in Elias's, say, inner circle and he's asking my advice, which to be clear, he's not. But if he were, I would say, look, we want to get the best possible return whoever we trade, whenever, if we're doing it at the trade deadline with a no hurry where the clock is ticking, if we're doing it this offseason, because we just think we have to make room for other players because they do still have kind of a position player surplus that they're going to have to work through. They should prioritize major league ready pitching, hopefully not at the expense of overall value. Like, don't take less just to try to get some pitching in. But I would also say they could look at veteran major league pitchers, even though they're not contending this year, they're not going to the playoffs this year, but they could look at someone like, say, a Mitch Keller, who still has a couple of years. He signed a contract extension, but the Pirates might just look at their situation and say, he's expendable. I don't know for a fact that he's available. I've heard rumors.
Yeah.
But he's the kind of guy where you get multiple years of control. The Orioles believe a lot in their player development, which includes at the major league level. Maybe they can help him even make another improvement, although he's done quite a bit so far. Pittsburgh's done a great job with pitcher development. That's the guy where maybe you are giving up some prospects or even a young major leaguer. The Pirates really desperately need offense. The Orioles desperately need starting pitching. That might be a situation where you can match up and you're getting a player who's not a rental. So he still helps you. He's under contract through 2028. So he still helps you for what you would like to think is your window of contention. Mm-hmm. And hopefully you're trading away players who you might really like. Maybe Kobe Mayo is one of them, but it hasn't worked out for him so far. And you might say, look, we have other players at the positions that Kobe Mayo can play. So he does become surplus. It's not even saying you don't think he's good. Just maybe this is a guy we trade, cash in on him now to go get things we particularly need to return to contention next year. Because to me, there's nothing everything you do right now has to be geared towards, we are trying to win in 2026. 2025 didn't work out. Fine. We believe the roster we bring back is going to be better next year. How do we supplement that and try to get back to the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal. The Orioles' expectations should be to win the AL East in 2026. It should be to contend to try to get to the World Series for the first time since 1983. Why? They do have a lot of young talent, and you're hoping Kyle Bradish and Grayson Rodriguez are healthy. That obviously helps. And then, yeah, that was the one thing. If the Orioles were to go get prospects or sell, the other option I did like was the veterans. You mentioned Keller. I mean, I'm still really curious on a different note. I don't think the Orioles will do this, but what happens with Sandy in Miami? How much hold him? I feel like that's got to be a king's ransom. I know the numbers aren't maybe where they are, but everyone knows the contract's friendly. The talent is still there in its first year back from Tommy John. So, it's the question marks, right? But that's what makes this fascinating. This is everyone's favorite month for all the ones that wanted to make the trades 4 months ago. Keith, right. This is their month. And it keeps you busy. Also, it keeps you busy as we wrap up. The final thing I want to talk to you about was the MLB draft.